Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
Hi, hello, welcome, Call the Bus, Neil Wood, Adam Nutter.
By the renewing of your mind.
The recycling. It's a flesh body world.
Do it.
Human.
Do it.
Sir slimy reptilian.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Comedian Neil Wood here. Welcome to the Cult of Us. We've Adam Nutter, it's good to see you, buddy.
Hey.
We've got a wonderful guest in the studio today. Give it up for Alex Pearlman, everybody.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes, Pearlman. Pearlmania 500 build. There he is.
Yes.
You look great, hot rod.
Thank you. I'm
Good
sucking
shirt.
in my. I'm realizing if I do like that, I look.
You
chubby.
came in, yeah,
I'm
you
pulling
came in.
it
The
in.
gut was out when I saw you initially. I was like, yo, dude.
No, I know.
What is
Well,
this
you know,
about?
I'm starting to. I now care about my body. I didn't for a very long time. I was working in a cubicle, and now people look at me, but most of the time they see me from about here up,
Right.
on the little box when they're looking at me on their phone while they poop. So now, if people see my full body, I want them to not be like, ah.
Right.
That's the part that's getting weird for me. And now I see myself on more things. People take photos of me and then they tag me, and I'm like, oh, that's great. Somebody saw me. They took a photo of me, and then it's like me as fat as possible.
Yeah.
At an angle
Yeah.
I've never looked at my own body at.
Do you ever look at yourself from like a profile? Like, if you say like a profile picture of yourself and just be like, earnestly be like, how can anyone ever fuck me? Like, who could love me?
No,
like,
honestly,
profiles are disgusting.
I'm good with my profile because if I didn't like my profile, that would be anti-Semitic. So
That is true.
I have to,
Yes, too.
I have to like my profile.
Okay.
that's
Well, as an
just how that
Italian, I'm gonna shit on my profile, my dumb
Oh,
Italian
you're
profile.
Italian?
Yeah.
Well, then yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Your
It's
profile's
rough.
your
It's rough.
profile's
It's
gonna
not good.
suck both in the real world and on every dating app. Because
Well,
I mean,
that's
like your
different.
favorite book's like the Bible, right? Is that what it is?
No, it's Goodfellas, obviously.
That's your favorite book? Your favorite book is Goodfellas?
Yes, written by Nicholas. What's his fucking name? God damn it! I can't think of his.
Oh, it was a book?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't know it was a book.
Yeah, God, he wrote like Goodfellas.
Nicholas
he wrote.
Sparks.
Yes, that's it. And The Notebook. Hard turn. He went from
Yeah.
The Goodfellas to Notebook. I know.
Dude, I hate
180.
that book. I fucking hate that movie.
Why do you hate it?
Yeah, every dude
Because
hates
that's
that
not
movie.
how
He's not good.
Alzheimer's works. My
No?
grandma had Alzheimer's. Have you ever
She
watched
didn't
The
get
Notebook?
romantic at all?
Huh?
Huh?
My grandma didn't get... No, my grandma actually forgot she ever had sex. She told me that once.
Wait. She forgot she had sex
Yeah,
once?
I was 16. I took her out to lunch because that was the whole thing. Is when she was like when her dementia was really, really bad.
Yeah.
I took her to lunch, and we're sitting at a Chili's. So we're sitting there, and she ordered a salmon. I ordered like a burger or something like that. I remember this part. They brought me an iced tea, and they brought her a pink lemonade. And then she reached across and she put her hand on mine. And she said, Paul. And I said, that's not my name, but okay. Because Paul's my dad's name. Right. And sometimes she would I look a lot like him. Sure. So I was like, whatever. I'm like, I'm Alex. And she's like, okay, well, I just want you to know I've never had sex. And I was like, well, Grandma?
Damn.
And she's like, what? I'm like, well, you're my grandma. And she goes, okay. And like, it didn't, no follow through on that one. So I'm like, fuck, I got to walk. We got to keep walking this one.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, you have 7 grandkids from 3 children that you had with 2 separate men. So you've had sex at least 3 times with 2 guys. And then she went, that's great. And just went right back to drinking her pink lemonade. And I just had to, that memory is just stuck. It's stuck there forever.
Dude, that's wild.
But then when I watched The Notebook, I was like, that's not how Alzheimer's works. You can't sit there and read the story of how you cucked James Marsden to a lady and have her remember at 9 p.m. and then you two have sex till you die.
Right.
Like, that's how that story goes. That is the story of Ryan Gosling sitting across from an Alzheimer's patient and being like, you were married to James Marsden. He was fine, but nobody liked him. I went to war. I came back. Your mom even pointed out that your marriage was a failure and that I would give you better dick. Oh, meanwhile, here's a side. Your grandkids are here. They're going to deny being your grandkids, though, because it's awkward for them. Anyway, back to me, Ryan Gosling. So it's just like, I just hate it. I hate it, the whole thing so much. And then it was also because it's sold to you as one of those movies like, oh, no, this is a romantic comedy that guys like. I'm like, yeah, because they put D-Day in it. Like, that's the whole point when you're watching the movie. And I'm like, nah, if I want D-Day, there's like 9 D-Day movies. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't put 10 minutes of D-Day in the middle of a movie and be like, nah, it's actually pretty good.
See, it's weird because when my grandmother was suffering from dementia, we had to constantly stop her from trying to fuck blonde boys. I was like, Grandma,
okay.
no, come back, get back in the home. You don't do that.
I would have
You
been a
don't do that.
contender.
What?
I would have been a contender. I would have been in there.
Yeah, you would have been in the race, dude. If you knew
Dirty
my grandma
blonde
when
boy.
she was going through it, you could have fucking nailed some old poon.
All right. Jesus,
What? You could have?
it is your grandmother.
She's dead. She would have wanted that. That's what she was
Don't-
doing.
First
She was
of
in,
all,
she was in
Adam,
the streets
you
of
do
Staten
not-
Island.
Adam, you do not say poon about your grandmother. Everyone knows that. You
What?
don't. You don't say poon.
You don't say poon?
You don't say poon in relation to your grandmother, dude. That's disrespectful.
Which grandma?
I'm.
Dad's mom?
Dad's mom.
You can't
Dad's
do
mom's
that.
fine.
Wow.
Mom's mom? No, that's disrespectful.
Fair.
Dad's
You know what?
mom's fine.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah. It's and also I like my I was closer to my mom's parents anyway, so you know what?
I had equal. See, the thing is, my mom's mom lived farther away, so I didn't like going there as much because it meant longer in the car. My dad's mom lived 2 hours away, so it was like 2 hours to go to Washington D.C. That's not so bad.
Yeah, that's not
To
bad.
go to North Carolina though, it's like ugh, because after you pass Richmond, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You're just staring at fields, and you're like, I guess there's a tobacco outlet coming up. And that's all you really have.
Yeah,
for
Virginia's
hours.
a weird place to be. Virginia's actually a weird place in general. Like,
lot of tobacco.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
drive
it's,
through.
yeah, especially because Northern Virginia is the north now.
Right.
It didn't used to be, but once basically like north of Richmond is the same as being in north of Richmond, Maryland, southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey. You're basically that's one area now. But then you cross this imaginary line somewhere in Virginia, and you're like, oh, you guys still care about that flag, huh? That's weird.
oh, then there's Virginia Beach, which is just like a somehow worse Jersey Shore.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I was there for Blaze's bachelor party, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Virginia Beach gets that crossover of it's basically Washington D.C.'s beach, right? So it's like everyone from Washington D.C. goes there, and then you also get a lot of Virginia and some of like northern North Carolina comes up that way. West Virginia comes across because if they want to go to the ocean and not go to like a lake,
Right.
they're gonna go there. So it's a feeder for like a really weird community. So when you go out there, and then on top of that, you also get a lot of foreign tourists. So a lot of people who are in the area to be in D.C. because they work at an embassy or stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, right.
The
Closest
first time
beach.
I ever saw a dude rocking a banana hammock, Virginia Beach.
Right.
He was Greek.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. That checks. Yep, checks.
I
for
only
sure.
know that because he had a Greek flag at his thing, and he was
Got
just
it.
this very old. I want to say like mid '60s, big beer belly,
Yep.
tannest guy I've ever seen.
When I went to Crete, it was
Yeah,
it was all
purple.
that.
Yeah.
It was like that weird purple, pink, purple like mix. Was that fuchsia?
Skin tone or
Like
bikini?
a
No, the
magenta?
bikini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, magenta. Yeah, magenta's the
Magenta.
color. Yeah, magenta banana hammock. And I just remember just sitting. I was like 10. I was like, I shouldn't be seeing this.
No,
this
for
is-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Virginia, this is how I describe Virginia Beach people, which I don't know if it makes sense, but this is how I would describe it. Loud? Does that make sense? Could a beach be loud? Because that's how I describe it. It's just like loud. Like the whole area is just loud. Like out,
Yeah.
it's just loud. It's weird. That's how I describe it. Like it's not like
Yeah,
when
I
you go
was
to
just
like
in-
the shore.
Yeah, I was just in Rehoboth. Rehoboth is actually remarkably quiet.
Oh yeah,
Rehoboth
yeah,
Beach
because there's
in
nothing. It's Delaware. It's
Yeah.
fucking Delaware. Yeah.
I got caught in Biden traffic though. Joe Biden came. He wanted his beach house is down.
Did he just wander there, or did he? Was he
Yeah, no, I
planning
was,
to
I
go?
was just stuck on the highway. I'm like, why is there traffic? And then Joe Biden and the Secret Service like flew by because they shut the highway down for like a bit for him to go to and from Dover Air Force Base and his beach house.
Dude, political traffic's the worst.
I was just like, this is the worst. This is.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was just
Yeah.
like, and like I'm a diehard like them and all
Right,
that stuff. And I was just like, as Joe Biden drove by, I was like, Trump.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. No, political traffic. It doesn't. Again,
once
you
it's
could
traffic,
be.
no,
It's political
no.
traffic
It's all
is
that's all.
again, especially as a native New Yorker. We used to get the show all the time. Like if you, I remember I got stuck in Manhattan one time because they had the UN detail going on.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to get home to Staten Island, and I just couldn't leave the city because every block is shut down, like where the UN is, and then they have like all these police escorts, and they have the DHS guys who are just in Suburbans full of like SWAT gear, just hanging out the fucking. It actually looks pretty cool. They just hang out the side of the fucking car, and I'm like, go home, everybody.
They had a Suburban with I can only describe as like the minigun from Halo on the top.
yeah,
And it was driving by, and like the dude is just leaning, like
Yeah.
he's just leaning out the top, like looking around. Like, and I'm just like, you're at the beach. Like this is
Yeah,
this is
it's
the
wild.
beach. Like you're You're in front of a place that charges $48 for a boogie board. Turn that cannon and let's fix this place.
Yeah, anytime there's political traffic, you're just like, whoever is in there, I hope the whole convoy just blows up and we can just get around this. I don't care who it is, just blow up.
No, I get that.
We're all anarchists in traffic. In traffic, president, especially if it has something. I'd be like, oh, come on now, Joe. We're doing this. We're doing this now.
It could be
One time
anybody.
I did get in front of it.
Ooh.
When Joe Biden was vice president, I was driving from Philly back to Delaware County, and he had landed at Philly International. Right. And as I was driving, like state police were like pulling onto each ramp and shutting down 95 heading south. And I was like, what's going on? Like, this is crazy.
Right.
And like the traffic in front of me is vanishing.
Right.
And I was in my little Nissan Versa Note. It's this little tiny hatchback. It's the smallest car in the world. And then, like, I looked to my left, and it was just the motorcades coming up next to me. And this is when he's vice president, so they don't care as much. And I look, and I can see Joe Biden's face because he has it, like, pressed up.
Because he was sleeping.
He was asleep.
Of course he was
asleep. Fucking asleep. And he's just, like, snoring. And I was just like, fuck, is that Joe Biden? And that was 9 years before.
Yeah, he was
president.
93 years old then.
Yeah. No, he was a spry 76. So, yeah, I was like, this is fucking insane. But, yeah, he actually what's funny is it actually took me less time because I was just in front of the shutdown. So it took me that was the only time in my life where I've been thankful. I was like, no, we're ahead of it, dude. I turned to no one. I was driving alone. I was like, we're ahead of it. I just telling nobody.
I told a story on this podcast one time back when I was living in Staten Island. This is
then
also
don't tell it again.
That's fair. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Bears are cool, right? No,
I don't listen to this.
No, I'm kidding. But one time I was living in Staten Island. This had to be there in the Obama years. Marine One, the helicopter, was just flying around my neighborhood in Staten Island, like very low, and he wasn't in Staten Island. It was just, I was walking my dog at the time, and I was like, yeah, that's 100% the presidential helicopter. Like I can see the lettering on it. Like that's like how low it is. So I don't know if my mic is fucking doing that. But I'm like, why is, and it's for like an hour, and then all the traffic around just started slowing down. Yeah. Just because the helicopter's in the sky. And I'm like, it's not even here. The fucking stop. Yeah. I hate it, dude.
I think that it might have been in the holding pattern. Like maybe he was doing something in Manhattan or he was doing something nearby. Sure. So they keep it in a holding pattern for extraction. Like when I did that presidential event recently, and it was weird seeing how many layers of what's the word when you have redundancy.
Redundancy.
Like how many layers of redundancy security there is. Like when you were talking about living in New York and having the UN guys, I was talking to Secret Service dudes and I was like, well, what's your worst month? Right. Like what out of all of them? Because I had so many questions for the Secret Service. Yeah. Because when I'm out, we have so much downtime. So this one guy and I just started getting along. So we started shooting the shit. And I was like, because you guys don't do this all the time. Like, I'm like, you're at the Philly office. And he's like, no, we all basically just do cyber. I'm like, explain. He's like, basically Bitcoin is a massive crime all the time happening. And we try to stop banks from being robbed online all day. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, and then Biden comes into town. We drop everything and we all come out here. I was like, all right. And he's like, except for whenever the UN meeting is, when they have all the presidents. And they were telling me about the different details. And the one guy was like, he hated I think it was the prime minister of Pakistan or the president of Pakistan. I can't remember which one.
Who cares?
He hated that dude. But he said the president of Kenya, he's like, me and the president of Kenya are tight. We're tight. And he was talking about because they're in the car, he can go up on sidewalks, diplomatic immunity, or they can do whatever. Except he got to this one intersection, they're like, you have to fucking stop. And he's like, why? They're like, POTUS, dude, like with the president.
Yeah.
He's like, wow, okay. Like he got the one intersection he couldn't cross was because I don't even know which president it was, but a president of the U.S. crosses, and even the Kenyan president was like, I guess we wait. We can run over Sabra hot dog carts all day. But once Donald Trump and Joe Biden are here, we got to slow it down.
I will say that in that moment, he felt like an anarchist. He was just like, come on with this bullshit.
Yeah, right?
Yep. Come on.
Right?
I'm a president. Oh, shit. All right, whatever.
Those are the political traffic.
Yeah. This is bullshit. I hate the traffic.
Well, you had to go to... Go ahead, bud.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, I'm about to switch topics. So
Okay,
you go
last thing. Secret Service has this thing called clear or spray the field or clear the field, where it's like absolute worst case scenario. Let's say president gets like trapped behind like a barrier of psychopath people, whatever.
Yeah.
They're authorized to just open the back of the SUV and just start fucking firing rounds into the crowd and just leave and just pull the SUV out and go. So don't be by that.
They got the fucking Halo. They got the Halo Warthog gun up there. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there is a certain thing that was when I had to do the event and they had me locked in this airport hangar. It's the only way to describe it because it's literally an airport hangar. The whole time I was like, they're like, there's a rope, like one of those people ropes, that you have for like in a club or something like that, where it's like, oh, the same ones they have at a bank. And they're like, don't cross this. And I was like, I was about to say, or what? And then like I looked at the series of men in suits who all were itching and purposefully bald. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Never cross this. Don't cross. And then the second it was done, they all just vanish. And then I'm like, I can just walk. No, they don't ever tell you that you can leave now. It's just you get a whistle and somebody yells, all clear. And then I was just walking around a rich people airport. Right. Like there was no security. Like rich people, I know where to get them.
Yeah.
They keep letting me into places, and I keep being like, "This is your." Like, I keep expecting gates.
Bad move.
I know. This thing is, it's
Don't
just
do it.
Don't what?
Nothing.
Talking to
What?
me?
Yeah, no, I'm talking to the rich people.
Oh yeah,
Don't
no.
do this, dude.
Don't stop inviting me to stuff. But there's you keep expecting there to be more. I keep expecting to be more security, but the biggest security is the fact that people don't know about it. Like it's not regular because. Yeah. Like the rich people airport I went to, it's next to Philly International. You can Google it. You can go there. And it was like, I saw a baby wearing Gucci. Like, I was like, this is an opulent, like, level I've never seen. And it's right there. And nobody stopped me walking in. Like, there wasn't ever, I could have walked in and sat in the lobby probably for 15 minutes before someone would be like, can we help you? Like, there's a certain level of weirdness to it that really caught me off guard.
If you just confidently walk into a place, you could kind of get through most of that place before someone's like, "What are you doing here?"
They used to say with a clipboard, right?
And a ladder, clipboard and a ladder.
I don't think a clipboard. Don't do a clipboard anymore. No. Get an iPad in the oversized bulk
That's good.
case.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the ones that the guy that a contracting manager has. You know what I mean? Where it's in like the super otter box.
Yeah.
And you walk in, wear a polo, carry that, and be like, no, man, listen, I got to clear. Who do I invoice? That's all you say. And then they go, oh, wait, what? You're like, I got an invoice. I need to invoice someone. Who do I send this to?
Right.
And they will spend more time looking for who to invoice.
Right.
It's always Carol.
Or it's just Cheryl or a Carol.
No, it's Carol or Cheryl in accounts payable. It always is.
Yeah.
But they will drop everything to get you that answer hours before they ever think to ask you for identification.
I think security is loose at rich places a lot of the time, or just because they're rich already. They're like, what do we have to worry about? Like, it doesn't.
They call it. Was it Castle? It was Citadel. I think it's.
I know what you're talking about.
Citadel mentality.
I can't think of the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
The outer wall is heavily protected.
Right.
But once you're inside, you're free because you had to have been cleared to get to a certain point.
It's got that thing. Well, you were talking about having to drive and stuff like that, but you were before we got on, you were saying you were driving to work to do virtual before you.
Yes, my old job,
which I can't remember you ranting about. I think I got to see you doing stand up like briefly back when you were kind of coming back, and I don't remember if you talked about this.
I my old job was at an office, and I got eventually a position. So when the pandemic happened, I was working a customer-facing job.
Right.
And eventually they moved me into a back office position, and that was around November of 2020.
Gotcha.
And so I was like pretty hyped because I was like, oh my God, I get to work from home.
Right.
And they did. They let me work from home for exactly 1 month. And then the vaccine came out, and my boomer boss was like, you need to come back into the office. I need everyone in my department back in the office.
Right.
And I later found out it's because he hated his wife. Like And the thing is the man had been divorced before, so it's not like he had a problem with divorce.
Right.
He just doesn't like his wife.
Another
So
Listen to his side. Think of his side of the story. I get it. I'm on that guy's side already.
You're on that guy's side?
Yeah, I'm on that guy's side. You know what? I'm taking that guy's side.
Let me
I get it.
torture my entire staff because I don't want to be home with my wife.
Yeah, I get it. She sucks.
Yeah, no,
So
she
you go
sucks.
ahead.
He could just
Divorce her.
Like,
Nah. Take
they're
that shit out,
both-
everybody else.
they're both. She was in her late 50s. No, hold on. She's in her late 50s. He's in his 60s. He's nearing retirement. All right. This motherfucker is nearing retirement, and he spends his entire day. He came to work. We didn't have to be there till 8. Okay. The man would get there at 6:45. We got done at 5. It was an 8 to 5 job. All right. Dolly Parton's wrong. It's not 9 to 5. It's 8 to 5.
Uh-huh.
This man at 5 o'clock would hit. I would leave. He was still there. He hated her. And I had to go. I got into a fight with him one time and about something. And he turned to me. He goes, "That's not what you say to your boss. That's when you go home and yell at your wife." And I looked at him and I said, "I like my wife. Why would I ever fucking say shit like that to her?" And he said, "Well, that's how you stay employed." I'm like, if that's what it takes to stay fucking employed here, I don't fucking want it. Anyway, this guy.
Literally interrupting you because someone might be going through a divorce. That's what I was saying. But yeah, it's funny.
What is he? What?
Yeah,
Oh, congratulations.
Maybe not. No, okay, it's fine.
No, what? No, good, bad. What are we talking about here? What am I stepping on? How many
It's fine.
landmines?
It's fine. I can always edit it out.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
fine,
pretty
it's
much.
fine.
I thought it was fun.
It's
fine.
fine.
No,
No,
it's
he's
fine. No,
going
it's
through
Leave it
divorce.
in.
Yeah,
No,
Make
we
this
are.
the TikTok.
I
clip.
hope so.
We are leaving it.
But you,
Yeah.
yes. So this guy brought you in.
Anyway, so this fucking guy demanded that we come in, and half of my job was attending Zoom meetings at my cubicle.
That's pretty
So I'm
funny.
sitting at a cubicle,
Yeah.
and the people who I'm attending Zoom meetings with are the executives and the board members of the fucking company, who are half of the time are telling me that I'm coming into the office too late. I'm like, but I could do the fucking Zoom from home.
Yeah.
I did it from home. And then they slowly made the other departments come in. And one of the things they're like, well, productivity slipped. I'm like, we've never been more productive. We have numbers proving, again, industry-wide, we have numbers proving that everything has made more money. There isn't a thing that hasn't made more money. And we've done better on every single thing. And they're like, well, you're missing the office culture. I was like, why don't you culture these balls? Like, this is fucking stupid.
See, the reason you guys sold so much because that guy made you go in the office. Thank him.
No, the reason
That guy's
we sold
hatred
so
of
much
his
is
wife.
No, here's the thing. The second I got back in the office, once that picked up, I stopped. I actually slowed down. Yeah. I went from closing 6 to 9 items a week to 2 on purpose. It was just one day I just started slow walking everything, and then they started telling me I was great. And I was like, you guys make no fucking sense. I was closing shit at a rate that
I have done that.
Dude, it's so dumb. And they're like, you're going too fast. Well, we can't keep up with the rate you're going. I'm like, okay, fucking, then what? They wrote me up for doing too well.
Yeah, no, I would be
I was like,
dude,
this is a
that's
nightmare
awesome.
industry.
I could go as slow as you need me to go.
That's the thing is I have ADD. I don't want to fucking go slow.
Yeah.
I want to do the shit. And then finally, the jobs changed. It just sucked. I hated it. What is this show? What are we doing?
Is everything all right? You're already having a breakdown? You're already having a mental breakdown?
I don't know what this show is.
No,
We're
you're
just-
doing
We're
it.
talking to you.
We're
okay.
doing it.
We're having fun. We're
I
doing
thought
We
it.
want
there was a
our
cult
cult
thing.
members to follow you
yes,
too. Yeah,
sorry.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Sure, dude. But it's like
I know. Well, I read the description. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, we're trying to. Well, I mean, I would say I think you're much more of a me person in terms of the side of the cult you're on than an Adam person. Maybe I don't know. It's a tough.
Yeah,
thing.
you're more of a Neil side of the cult
Yeah, I
than
think
Adam's
you
side
are.
of the cult
But
for sure.
let's say this. I always like to ask, who do you think you would be if you were a leader of a cult? Which cult in the what you know about cults? Who do you think you would be of a leader? And then what cult would you follow? This is the stock question that I do ask everybody. But
Yeah.
if you who do you think you would get wrapped up in if you were a follower?
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
And if you were a
think
leader,
I
like,
was
what type of cult would you
If
run?
I was a leader, I would definitely. I mean, Game's got to recognize Game.
You feel like a Jim Jones got to be.
Huh?
You feel like a Jim Jones. gotta be.
Absolutely not.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely not.
That was my first go-to.
No,
Marshall
no, no.
Applewhite.
It would be much more. It would be much more of a Pat Robertson or James
Ah.
Wilson.
Oh,
cut.
modern, nice. I like it.
Or if I didn't have, and again, this is part of being a cult leader is not having scruples.
Right.
And so it would be one of those two. I got kicked out of the Focus on the Family call center. I was escorted off the property at shotgun point. That was fun. And Pat Robertson, I'm waiting to find out where his grave is. I will dance on it.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
I
He's
will
dead,
dance
right.
on him. Yeah. But yeah, definitely one of those because my mom, like I said, my mom's from the South, so she was raised Southern Baptist. So I always had this from living here in the Philly area. Everybody's so fucking Catholic.
Right.
The evangelical thing doesn't come through enough, which is why so many people in this area are easily duped by evangelical preachers.
Yep.
It's amazing. Once you know their grift, you start to see it everywhere, and you just see people pick on it a little bit. Obama steals evangelical preacher voice.
Yeah.
And even our governor, Josh Shapiro, does it sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
If you listen to him, when Josh Shapiro knows he's given a good speech, he slips into Obama. And when Obama's giving a good speech, he slips into Jesse Jackson. And Jesse Jackson is actually ripping off, what's his name? The fucking, who's that one guy? Reverend Billy Graham. He's doing a Billy Graham.
Right. Yeah.
So it's weird. It's like layers on layers on
You
layers.
see it in stand-up now. I've seen a couple of stand-ups recently that have been taking the preacher like kind of little angle to it. Yeah,
You know what the thing is you need to know?
Oh yeah, there it is.
You know, sometimes when the pussy comes to you, you just know the pussy's dry. And you say, not now, Ben Shapiro. Yeah. There's a way of doing it. It's very funny. But I think I would definitely probably along those lines, mainly for the grift side of it, because they monetize so well.
I was just listening about Peter Popoff was a big one. I didn't even know about him, and he was under the radar the whole time.
Which one's Peter Popoff?
I wouldn't even know. He made his own fucking thing.
So he didn't really pop off, did he? All right, I'm out. See you guys later.
So good meeting you. Yeah. You won't be missed. No, yeah, of course you will. Peter Popoff was like a guy who ran adjacent to like some of the bigger ones, but like he just went under, and he had changed it when he needed to. So he was getting, all the bigger. He had Cadillacs. He had, all the stuff. He eventually gets found out. He was exposed for having the earpiece in. A bunch of people. Yeah,
that's the guy. Yeah, okay, I know that one. That's the guy where you can see the YouTube clip of him, and the girl is telling him. Is that guy?
It might.
There's a girl telling him, and like as she's saying, she's like row 3.
Yes,
two chairs in, and she goes, by the way, and you look handsome today, baby.
Wait a minute, wasn't this the guy Amazing Randy blew up?
Yes, Amazing Randy fucking nailed it.
Fuck yeah, Amazing Randy's the man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. I think he's that
great.
too.
Yeah, he passed recently.
Yeah.
All 4'5" of gayness right there.
he was
dude.
so
I love
small.
that dude.
He was a ball of gay for sure.
Yeah,
but
and that's the thing about Amazing Randy. Until that documentary, I just knew that he didn't like charlatans, and he didn't like psychics, and he didn't like evangelicals. And so when I saw the documentary, and you find out about his partner, and then you actually see him like standing next to like average sized people, you're like, oh my god, there's so much hidden right off screen. It was like under the camera.
It looked like Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Dude, he does. And he had that
Like it
long
does.
white ponytail. Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
I loved Amazing Randy. And but yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people when they get into cult stuff, they always think of like crazy cults and often they do Jim Jones. They always go apocalyptic.
Sure.
But on my podcast, Promania 500, my wife and I cover a lot of grifters. And by covering grifters, we end up with cults.
Yeah.
Because a lot of cults are usually grifts that need a tax haven.
Yeah.
Another great cult leader, Kris Jenner.
Oh, I would say okay.
No.
In what way?
Killing
the person with the car and then just doing all the
No,
stuff?
you're
That's
thinking
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Nailed it.
Kris Jenner. Good pun. Great pun, honestly. Kris Jenner, that's the mom. That's the matriarch of the entire Kardashian clan.
I don't follow it.
Every single one of the Kardashians and all of the Jenners, every single one of them have incorporated their own church.
Oh no, that's because they're literal demons. That's it. No, that doesn't count.
No, because of it's tax havens. They're all tax havens.
No, the Kardashians are literal demons.
She's the one who taught Kanye. She's the one who taught Kanye to do the church shit. And Kanye, being a schizophrenic, just took it too far.
Right.
Again, that's how it always goes.
As demons would do, so proving my point more, they're literal demons.
Peter Baba, I didn't know that he just got bought. That was all that happened. The way he got to the church level and got the tax haven was just like, some church in Texas wanted to buy his following. And that was it. And then because they incorporated and merged, he all of a sudden was like, oh yeah, cool, I got it. I'm done. I'm in. I'm a church. I'm like, that's a thing? I thought you had to build it from the ground up. I didn't know you could merge.
You're a so company. Wild. I've had debates sometimes of like going after if this if this whole thing, my phone thing here keeps going the rate it's going, I've had debates about going on like a television show with a big preacher and having them be like, well, God told me. I'd be like, well, I talked to God last night. He said you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Prove to me that God didn't say that. Also, he said that sucking dick's fine. He said that that's an old edit. He's updated it. Everyone can suck dick. It's fine now.
Wait, seriously, did God say that?
Yeah, he did. He
You
said
know
it's
what I
cool.
mean? Like he
Yeah.
just breaks. He's like, no, but did he?
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean,
Oh.
because there's so many things through TikTok that I've like anecdotally have noticed, and that you start to realize that there's layers of once you're having a conversation with the entire nation and the world. So like when the wildfires happened in Canada, right? We're here and we had wildfire smoke and we had air quality alerts for the first time in our lives. I'm almost 40 years old, so I can say for almost a half a century, I have never once had an air quality alert of this level.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out about it. And I went online, and people on the West Coast were like, y'all are bitches, blah, blah, blah. And, like, that was the first part, which is like, oh, you ain't hard like us, that type of thing.
Oh, yeah, West
But
Coast. I think hard. I think L.A. Fuck off.
But
Shut
the
up.
second layer of it, is as I started reading through the comments, was a series of especially kids in their 20s who did not know the East Coast doesn't have wildfires.
Right.
They thought wildfires happening from Colorado all the way to the Pacific were common for the entire United States because they're young enough that they don't remember a time when it was uncommon in Colorado, when it was uncommon in these areas, because they haven't been around long enough, but they also haven't experienced as much of the country as maybe we have, right?
Right.
So I'm sitting here watching this, I'm like, oh, fuck. And it dawned on me, I'm like, you legit don't have the context to not know that. And so I've started to notice that with a lot of things where sometimes you're just giving context to people of, hey, you might not know, because some of the ones that are really dumb, like, how to keep the door handle, the handle open on your car, like what that's for.
Right.
All these little things where you're like, well, yeah, it says that in the thing. Well, don't assume somebody ever read the instructions.
Right. True.
There's all
It's
these weird
to
layers
hang
to
your
it.
laundry
Yeah,
from.
I mean,
What else is it for? Obviously, you hang your dry cleaning from that.
The big thing, the one when I saw you, like you first kind of just, or at least the one I think was that you blew up, or I think got a lot of attention. I saw you in Yahoo News or whatever for the Treasury.
The unclaimed funds thing.
The unclaimed funds.
Yeah.
thing.
Well, here's the thing. I used to work at banks, right?
Right.
Like way back in the day, I was a teller at a bank.
Yes.
And when I was a teller at the bank, I found out about unclaimed funds. I
Wonderful
never knew
story.
about it.
Go see his stand-up. Wonderful story about how he met his wife in the bank.
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a beautiful joke. I love it. Anyway.
Yeah. But that was years ago. I worked in banking. And when I was there, I had the whole escheatment. It's called escheatment and unclaimed funds. So how if you don't touch an account, whether, a checking account or a savings account, grandma set me up a savings account because, she had a really good poon and she had extra money laying around,
See?
right?
Yes.
So
Banging blonde boys.
On the mother's side. On the
yeah,
mother's
exactly. Yeah, on the dad's side.
Father's
On the dad-
father's
yeah,
mother.
father's side. is
Show
the only side
respect,
that's
Neil. You fucking piece of shit.
Mother's side, you say poon. That's I think that's
No,
That's
father's
gross.
side, you say
That's
poon.
gross.
That's correct.
Get
That's
it?
gross.
Hey,
think-
listen to me. Lock it in.
No,
You're
'cause then
embarrassing me in front of our guests.
My mom and her mother have both good poon. That sounds right to me.
No,
Does that not
that's
sound right?
disrespectful. You don't get it. You're not
I'm
getting it.
for my mom's sexuality, and I think we're good. I'm gonna stop talking. So
I was waiting. I was just gonna wait it out. I pulled the substitute teacher
Oh, I saw it.
when the class won't stop talking, and they're like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm just gonna.
you looked into the distance, like, yeah, we're gonna lock in here.
I'll
I'm just
wait.
gonna wait.
I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out. So if you have an account that's sitting somewhere in Pennsylvania, it used to be 7 years. If you don't touch a checking or savings account for 7 years,
Right.
the state would say that those funds aren't claimed. And so on behalf of the individual, the state will seize the funds until the individual goes to the state for it. Now, the state dropped that from 7 years to 5 years, discovered that gave them an extra billion some dollars. So then they dropped it from 5 to 3 years. So what a lot of banks do is they will have 2 fees on there. Now they'll claim these fees are to help you,
Right.
which is insane. But I've listened to their logic and I'm like, if I was a piece of shit, I'd believe you. The dormancy fee. You have a savings or a checking account, you don't use it. Well, every month you might get charged $10 because you haven't used it.
Right.
Their reasoning is if you get charged the $10 and then you notice you're being charged the $10, you'll contact us. So then we can touch base with you, and that says that the account is legal, is now being used. Hold on. The second one is then you've been hit with dormancy fees. Right. You got $1,000 in this account. After that year, because the account goes into a dormant status, once it sits there in a year, it then gets escheated. So they then fee you $100, and whatever's left gets sent to the state. So that's how this works. And again, I learned about that working in banking and having to deal with these types of accounts. Now, the reason the accounts go dormant is because they have to get locked in a certain way, so that way bank tellers can't steal money from them. They have to have overrides. There's other different things. And there's two ways to fix it. One is to go and withdraw literally a penny, or deposit a penny, or just any amount of money, or contact your bank and say, I'm still alive and I still want the account. They update a actual contact date on the account, and then that keeps it from triggering over. I knew about this from working on it.
Right.
When I talked to other people who worked in banking, I'd be like, why don't more people need to know about this? And they would go, people know, it's in the paper. And I'm like, who reads the fucking paper?
It's in the paper.
But that was the thing. And so I made the video. I was thinking about it because it was really on my head the one day. And I made the video. And, literally millions of dollars were to the point where I got contacted by state treasury departments.
Shut the websites down in multiple states.
A couple of them crashed. They basically got DDoSed. A few of them. And I had a few reporters that's when the reporters started to reach out to me. But during that time, there was so many people that I would say 7/8 of the comments were, oh my God, I didn't know about this. I found a bunch of money, or I just found $5, whatever. Or thank you so much. I've told my family about it. They're checking. And then about 1/8 of the comments were, everybody knows about this. And I'm like, well, 6 million people watched the video. Most people seemingly didn't.
Right.
So shut up. So it's literally baseline stuff like that. Like I have a theory right now that the average person doesn't know where their water comes from.
Yeah, that's
the
100%.
sky.
Right.
Yeah, but to your tap, like how it comes to the tap. Well, but I mean, I
The
don't even
pipe,
know about
Alex. Jesus Christ! I gotta tell you everything. It comes to the fucking pipe.
Alex, I'll get you water because I obviously know where my water comes from, but Adam might need it. So I'll get you some more water. You guys go ahead.
No, but
I'll be right back.
Idiot.
You actually gonna? Okay, no, that's great. I do need my water comes from Neil. But no, it's one of those things because as we're talking in a warming world, right? A world that we can all at least admit is getting warmer, and water is becoming a bigger scarcity due to the growing human population and how we use it and how we store it. That's going to be more and more important. So if we have an electorate voting for politicians who are going to push specific policies, I would hope that they would at least keep in mind of, hey, where's the water coming from? Because when we had that leak where Philadelphia, suddenly they were like, oh, all of Philly's water is
Poison. By the way, that was hilarious because that was a Bucks County leak. So, and I live in Bucks County, and we were fine. So that was so funny.
I know because you were just north of it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like that was 1 million people. 1 million people suddenly realized, wait, our water comes from the river none of us will swim in.
Yep.
That's what we're drinking, and I'm like, kind of, but it goes through. Yeah. It gets filtered. There's layers and all this other stuff to it.
Suck our chemicals, dickheads.
Yeah, but it's
that's what I say.
But it's one of those things where it's when people are thinking about that for in the future of how stuff is going to be set up. Like people need to be having those thoughts, and we shouldn't just have it be among water people and just among the business owners of Bucks County who are dumping the chemicals in there. I know that the business owners in Bucks County would love that. I know they would love that nobody in Philly or Camden is thinking about that beyond the scientists and the pipe fitters union 420 or whatever. Yeah. Like I know that, but if we have a larger conversation about that, I think more and more people will go, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
I actually go out and dump my own toxic waste into the river.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it just goes right to Neil's pipe. That's my goal. I go
I
find Neil. I speak to
keep
it. I go,
telling
fine, Neil,
you,
and I kiss
stop
it.
doing mass poisonings when you just want to poison me. I keep telling you. I don't
It's
know why
more
you
fun
do it.
that way. It's a lot. I could nail
Targeted
down.
poisoning's where it's at, fellas.
Yeah, you want to target
Targeted
it.
poisonings.
Hone
That's-
it.
If you're
too
gonna run
easy.
no, listen. If you're running a cult, if you do mass ones, that's gonna come back to
It's
you.
gonna be a problem.
By the way,
Do targeted ones. I mean, listen. Look at. Let me give you two options of two cult leaders. You got that one yoga cult. They did the Netflix one about.
Shinrikyo?
What is it?
Shinrikyo?
Yep.
Japan.
No, not Japan. I'm talking about the one in.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The
guy
from
that sprayed
California.
the rape guy.
Yeah. They sprayed the.
the
The
hot
Bikram
yoga guy.
guys. Yeah. He went and sprayed a vegetable section in a market. Well, that's terrible. That's mad. That's a mass poisoning.
dude, that guy was before he got arrested when he was doing all the documentaries, or like he's like I'm not raping tour. you know,
Yeah.
He was like women would spend $1 million for a drop of my cum. I'm like, I don't know about that.
That's not good.
That's
to
not
say.
said. What
Norwegian?
Well, when was
I'm not good at accents. I'm not good at we know that.
Well, no, but
Move
that
on.
was the 80s though, right?
Yeah.
No, that was
No?
that was like a 2015, 16 interview.
Oh, really? Okay, I was gonna say.
I'll find it
I
right
was
now.
gonna say- I was gonna say because I was like, with inflation,
Oh,
that's
sure.
gotta be.
Oh yeah, no.
If it was the 80s, that's like $7 million cum right there.
Yeah. Sounds like gas.
Why is every podcast I'm on about cum?
That's just most of what we talk about.
I feel no, not you guys. I just mean like every
You come in
podcast
with this-
I'm on.
You come in with this sex machine hot rod shirt on. You expect us
Yeah.
not to talk about cum, dude?
Well, that's what it happens.
What are we gonna do?
What were we saying? Oh,
Look
but
at
the
you,
other
I
one.
got
No. Okay, so mass poisonings, targeted though. Look at Vladimir Putin. Vladimir
Yes.
Putin's been targeting people for
KGB,
years.
of course.
Didn't get in trouble until he what? Mass poisoned
Yep.
Ukraine.
Yeah. Boom. There you
Honestly,
go.
he could one-offs here and there, all over. He poisoned.
point.
He poisoned a guy in England, and him poisoning that guy also poisoned like 4 other
That
people.
was the ricin, right? Was that the ricin guy? No.
No, when the ricin guy, it was polonium.
Ah,
Because they a bunch of other people who happened to like.
Right.
I think they put it in his teacup, and then some other people who were cleaning up after,
Right.
like legit, like the people who worked at the cafe,
Jesus.
like they then got
Yeah.
radiation poisoning from it.
Do you think it's such a messy way? I mean, again, why am I critiquing his ways to poison? But yeah,
No, do it. This is
Yeah, who are
America.
you?
We
What are
can
you, the
critique it.
poison god? You fuck!
like-
Don't
Yeah.
knock.
Like, you wanted to poison him. Like, why are you doing it? They're gonna know that other people had plutonium exposure, and then immediately be like, "But I guess they don't care." I thought the ricin was like a little bit more, kind of clever because I think they tried to hide it, and it could be seen as something else. But plutonium, they're like, "Yeah, this is fucking plutonium. You're not gonna be. Everyone's gonna know it's Russia." But I guess
Yeah.
that's what he likes, right? That's the whole point.
Do you want to
funny
do
stuff.
plugs?
Yeah, we
I
gotta do
found the
plugs,
Bikram
and
Yoga video, which is a minute. It's pretty funny. I think we could probably
Okay.
make fun of that for a
Good
minute.
drop of cum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. It's but the whole thing's fun. Like he's just like, "Oh, I would never do that. Like, the whole thing's funny. That's
Well,
why.
let's rock and roll.
Yeah,
Let's do
let's
it.
do
Yeah.
pluggy plugs first. Okay. Boom.
Okay.
It's loud as fuck.
Whoa, buddy, bring it on down. There we go.
Boom.
Pearlmania 500. I always do that. Pearlmania. Everyone wants to say 5,000. Why do you keep doing this to us? Pearlmania 500. They can check you out there. We'll have that in the description. But where else? What else?
They can find me on everything under Pearlmania 500. If you type in Pearlmania 500 and you find me on Instagram or TikTok, the link in my bio is to my link tree, which is everything. But every form of social media, I have tried to get the handle Pearlmania 500. I have a Twitter account. I don't use it. Elon's a fucking
please.
idiot.
It's called X.
No, I dead named that website.
I'll never call it X.
Yeah,
I'll never call it. It's Twitter forever.
No, it's the dumbest shit in the world.
So dumb.
It's so dumb. The man paid $44 billion for Twitter and then called it X.
No, it's
the
so dumb.
stupidest shit. It's because
So dumb.
No, it's because Elon has permanent 1997 brain.
It's fine. He got my account back, so props. But dumb name change. Dumb name change.
Yeah.
Where else could you be? You gotta do stand-up
Yeah,
days
I hope,
coming.
honestly, listen, I hate Mark Zuckerberg, but if they do get in that fight, I can't wait to watch. Mark's going to top him.
First of all, they're both trash at fighting, I'm sure. Number one.
Have you
Number
seen? No. Listen. First, Elon is a pudgy fucking man, and there's no way he's ever done anything. I've seen the one clip of him, but apparently Zuckerberg's been doing.
Zuckerberg's
super
been
into
getting
BJ.
choked out, and they've been covering
By
it up
who, by
constantly.
Elon?
No.
You think Zuck's gonna be-
No.
Oh, by somebody else. Yeah, a different fighter.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: I don't trust Zuckerberg to win someone else's against somebody else, but against Elon,
Elon's bigger though. If he could pack on muscle, he's
there's
way
no
bigger.
way he's gonna pack on muscle in time.
There's no fight Let's do that plug. Let's finish plugs. Let's finish plugs. We'll finish this.
It's on Pearlmania 500 and everything. That's what you need to know.
Boom.
That's the plug. Sorry.
Boom.
All
No,
the
we're good.
stuff, all the stuff.
I do want to talk about that.
I just feel like when Zuckerberg gets locked in, when he gets the tunnel vision,
Yeah.
Elon's gonna be too ADD
Because he's an
trying
android.
to preen
And
around.
he's going to use his robot parts to fucking be
Yeah, no,
Elon.
I just think if the two of them were, I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Oh, he's an android, so he's smart. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Nailed it.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
you.
fuck
God
you.
damn it. Fuck.
Guy must get poon. Listen.
All right, whatever. You know what?
Listen.
Follow me at no, you're done. Follow me at Adam Nutter. Follow me at Nutter on Twitter, because that's what it is. On Twitter, on Instagram at Adam Nutter, TikTok Adam Nutter Comedy. Go check out YouTube.com/Adam Nutter. Starting a new podcast that will be on this network. I think it's gonna be called 5 Till Midnight. With a bunch of other Typo Luke from Biting Bullet Podcast, Kyle Matovic, and Sam Urban. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good old time.
I forgot one.
Oh wait,
Yeah, I forgot something.
hold on.
I'm
Go
going
for
to
it.
be at Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia, September 23rd. It's a 4:30 p.m. show. If you go to any of my socials or go to heliumcomedyclub.com and go to the calendar, you can get that. The tickets are $22. It's going to be a great show. We're getting close to a sellout. So we're actually barreling down on that, which is really, really cool. And I really want to sell this out because then I'll get booked to headline more shows. So September 23rd, Helium Comedy Club. Pearlmania 500 is the title.
It's awesome.
I knew we had something else going on there. Yeah, Adam, you good? Yeah, you good?
Yeah, August 13th, I'm doing Cody Wright's Weed game show over in Clementon, New Jersey at Clarity Head Shop. It's a Sunday show. August 18th, it's that Friday, I believe. 12 Steps Down Comedy, hosted by Lemaire Lee and the great Sarah Bell. It's over in Philly. Speakeasy September, other shit that me, Neil, and I are doing together. I post all my show dates on my social media, so go follow that. And I'm Dune.
Cool. Thanks. Check out all my comedy dates coming up at IamNeilWood.com. You can go there. You'll see we got this Thursday. Well, this Thursday. Or no. Actually, thank you for having me at High Note Humor for the nice post-game show. I hope everyone who came out had fun. If you didn't make it, well, then go to the next one.
I was on that too.
Yes, we're on that. But if you,
I was definitely on that.
Yes, and if you had fun or you didn't get to go to it, go over and check out everything going on at the Tap Room from High Note Humor. The post game show is a lot of fun. Stand up, and then they kind of do a sport interview after. It's gonna be a good time. But go check out their shows over there just in case. You can check us out at Myers Brewing Company coming up this Friday, August 11th. And 7:30 show at 9:30 show. Come on down. Some great comics on the lineup. I think we just locked in. Well, I got Lump Hamilton, Sherry Franklin, and Jules Posner. A great lineup for our 7:30 show, and more on at 9:30. So come on down. Get the tickets. They're only $12 online right now. 17 to the door. So get them while you can. All right. And we'll be back at Wissahickon Brewing Company in September. So look out for those dates. You can go over to eventbrite.com or droptent.com/events for all those dates and details. You can check out my artwork at jamesneilwoodart.com if you want to check out some cool stuff, buy some stuff, or hire me for some design, video, whatever it might be, website, whatever the heck. Grab it in there. Let's, get in there, see what you can do. All right. Check out all our merch over at droptent.com. You can support this podcast by going over to droptent.com/store and click on the Cult of Us section. All right. We got merch in there. Everything's designed by, us, and it benefits us wonderfully. So we appreciate it. Anything you can give. Grab a shirt, grab a hat. There's different colors, different
merch.
style. Oh, thanks. Some different stuff in there. A lot of fun stuff. So go in there,
talk
select
to you
some
about
colors.
stuff like this. I want advice on how to do this.
Sure, of course.
I
Always.
bet you have competitive rates when you're talking to people
Yeah.
about consulting on how to set up their websites and such, right?
Yeah, totally. I have a friends and family price. Yeah,
You
there
do?
is- there
All
is
right,
a
that's
price.
good. That's good. I mean, this is how we talk
this is
about it. We
how
move
it-
it.
I don't like that he's got therapy voice on, but it feels like that's how we talk about it. I love that about
No,
you.
that's not therapy voice. This
It had
is,
a therapy time.
No. This is sleazy sales.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's how you move so many
Part of
items.
it's part of therapy voice. No, I think honestly, I think your website's very handsome. I like the way it looks. Tell me more. What type of coding do you use? Squarespace? You use the Squarespace promo code?
Yes. I love this. Seamless. So you guys, yes, I'll talk to you after about how I do a website. I'm not going to do it in the middle of a bug. So go over there, grab a shirt. You get his sleeveless summer, so go over there. Every time you buy a sleeveless shirt, Adam grows another hair on top of his head. So you got to buy more because it's pretty bad up there.
So they're not really moving, huh?
They're not moving. Unfortunately, the sleeveless stuff's not happening. I don't know what's going on over there.
Damn.
But yeah, check it out. Or just support the network. You can support the network with some Drop Tent merch as well. You can check out our Drop Tent Patreon as well. Sorry. Our Drop Tent, our Patreon for Cult of Us. Go over to patreon.com/Cult of Us. It's only $5. You're going to get a shirt, so give us the measurements of your body. We
What's a
want to know.
$5 shirt?
So it's a $5 tier. You get all the stuff in our back catalog, everything we filmed on the road, movie watches, everything we do on our Discord. So we check out MMA fights. You can watch the fight with us and not pay for it.
Yeah.
You can do all that fun stuff and check it out all there for $5. Plus, we're gonna get some measurements of your body. That's right. Send us your measurements. Do you need an extra large? Cool. We're gonna send you a shirt automatically. All right. So you might get a shirt for only $5. I mean, if you're being an asshole, or stay in the tiers for a bit. Let us work for you.
You show up for the $5 shirt, and then you stick around for all the great content and things that are available through the Discord server.
I'm being gaslit.
You're not being gaslit.
I'm being gaslit.
This is me. I'm
By
acknowledging what I heard. I'm acknowledging the things I heard. I have a Patreon.
I also just realized that
You didn't say your Patreon.
Why would I say my Patreon? It's about my podcast. Listen to my podcast. And if you listen to my podcast, you hear about my Patreon.
It's right. I just realized that our own backdrop for our own podcast is not even our own podcast. It's Dave and fucking Dan's podcast.
I was trying to hide it, and unfortunately, I didn't switch it over before. But
Backdrop.
who
Oh,
cares?
this one?
Who cares?
They can't
We
see
should.
It. That's just a little corner.
We
No,
should.
it just looks like a ticket.
This is now.
It just is a ticket.
Shut your hokas up.
I'm talking about my
Your
shoes.
hokas. Yes. I know.
Hokas.
Hokas.
I'm wearing hokas.
God, yeah, dude, it's so tough when rich people come in. They make it so much harder on us as comics.
Who's
Talking to you. I know you don't. Sorry,
I'm rich?
You're schmoozing with all the big guys now. I know
Then
you.
none of them talk
Coming
to
in
me.
with
yeah,
your
rich
fancy
person
shoes.
airports.
The biggest-
we fucking
listen.
see.
Get out of
big-
plugs. I'm done with plugs.
Okay,
get
get
out
out
of
of
this
plugs.
fucking plugs.
The biggest thing for me, that part that's been weird is, can we cut the music?
He's coming
All right,
down
there
on
we
you.
go.
Trying to be smooth.
Now I want to be rich. I want to
Jesus.
control the music.
I'm getting
No, the part that's been weirder for me is I get messages from people, because it really has been in the last 6 months when social media really took off for me.
Right.
Whether it be TikTok and even Instagram to a degree. I get messages from people like, oh, you inspired me or this stuff. And those are weird. And then I'll get ones from people who I've been watching for 2 or 3 years, who I think is a big deal. And they're like, man, I wish I could do what you do. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, fuck.
And then people in our houses screaming into our phones.
Yeah.
That's basically everything at this point. That's all of entertainment, especially right now in the middle of the writer's strike and the actor's strike and all this different stuff. I mean, it used to sit there. When you look at the numbers, it's dumb, dude. It's so fucking stupid. Like Tucker Carlson, right? Tucker Carlson was the biggest dude on cable news. When he got fired, he had, I think they said the Nielsen's, he had like 3.5 million viewers a night.
Yeah, which is usually also skews older.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
The Nielsen's are. Yeah,
But
let's
just
but
go.
I get you.
But
got you.
but
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
but don't even worry about the demos.
Right,
Let's
right,
not even
okay.
worry about the demographics on that. 3.5 million viewers.
Gotcha.
Okay. There are 350 million fucking people in America.
Right.
That is less than 1%. There are more trans people in America
Right.
than there are Tucker Carlson viewers.
Yeah.
And then when I looked at like the rest of the numbers, I'm like, shit. Regularly, during my week, I get the same numbers as Tucker Carlson. Where's my fucking Ford money?
Yeah.
Like I started sitting there, I'm like, once you start to realize that with television and Nielsen ratings and stuff like that, we're behind a box for so long.
Right.
We're very used to watching a YouTube. When you open it up, what's the first thing you do? You look at how long's the video going to be, and then sometimes you look at how many views does this have. If you open up a YouTube video and it has 15 views, you're like, I'm either early or this is some psycho shit.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Right.
There's absolutely no in between. And so when you start to get into that type of things, like television has always been able to hide behind that stuff. I'll sit there and watch and read about networks that have like 30,000 viewers.
Yeah.
And it's a television network with hundreds of people involved.
Well, we
and it's like
talked
you
about
can
this-
crush
yeah.
that on the fucking phone.
We talked about this, especially with a couple even local comics that we know and we've had on the podcast, where it's like, I'm tired of the line being for the content that they create being so far more, like you have to have so many more views. I'm like, does now you get paid? Like, I'm like, now does something happen?
Bro.
And I'm like, what is going on? Why is it Tucker Carlson that has that many views and it's just like syndicate, all this network? I'm like, when does you or like other people
here's
we
the
know,
flip.
like, it's
Here's
crazy.
the flip. I did local radio, right? And I realized halfway through doing local radio and local news, they were using me for clout.
Right.
That fucked me up.
It's insane.
Like, because I thought back when I started doing stand-up in 2002.
Right.
All right? Like 20 years ago. And back then, you wanted to do stand-up, you wanted to get on the fucking Tonight Show, or get on Conan, or one of these shows, and then you got the clout from, they rubbed off clout on you.
Right.
And then you went, great, now I can go anywhere in America and get booked as I was on the Tonight Show. That was the goal. And then around like the 2010s, as more and more late night shows were around, that mattered a little bit less. You needed to have 5 or 6 late shows.
They hate when we talk about comedy, just so you know.
Oh,
so
do
I
they?
love this. Well, no, because I'm also explaining this all the time. Like, I'm explaining this, like, young comics. When you were talking about to 22-year-olds who don't know about fires not happening.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when I go, like, you don't even know what we used to be into.
But the thing is like, it took me a while to understand the
Right.
change, because I go back even fucking further than that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Henny Youngman working the Borscht Belt in upstate New York used to make good money, and then someone invented a way to record sound. And he was like, fuck.
Yep.
And he didn't understand, like, it's like you go through and you see these changes, and basically this industry flips on its head every 15 years.
Gotcha.
When I was a child, it was all about nightly clubs everywhere. There was a comedy boom in the 80s.
Right.
There was a club on every fucking corner. Every comic could work. And you know how much they got paid? The same exact fucking amount of money we get paid today.
Yep.
Except they could work every fucking night. Now, you have, in this city, we finally have 2 major clubs. When I started, there were 0. You had the Laugh House and you had the fucking Northeast Comedy Cabaret.
Right.
Neither of them were pulling in names, though.
Right.
Those were, this is where I go for my bachelor party when I don't have a good idea.
Right.
Like, there's literally people shooting up at Northeast Comedy Cabaret. People were paying hourly rates to go with hookers who were much more popular than the comics, who were all performing at the same bar. Okay? That was 2002. And then Helium opened, and we're like, oh, shit. Dave Attell's coming to. Dave Attell used to skip Philly.
Right.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see Dave Attell, if you wanted to see fucking all the major names from the early 2000s, all of them, you had to go to New York, or you had to go to Jersey. You had to go to a big club in New Jersey, or you go to Baltimore or D.C. They just straight up did not come to Philadelphia. Helium opened, and then it built from there. But again, it was one of those mixes. There was a couple years there where every comic in Philly was fighting for their ranking at Helium. Who's going to be a host versus who's going to be a feature? Then they open their second location. Helium opens Helium Portland. Who's a good enough host or feature to do both clubs? Oh my fucking God, y'all. Now they got what, 10, 12 clubs?
There's like 8 or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. They got a network. That's why for me, I want to sell out this show on September 23rd. I want to show that here in my home base, I can sell the fuck out, because then, hey, if you go book me in Portland or Austin or whatever, I might sell 75 tickets.
Yeah.
And that's actually not, I've now noticed, that's not bad. Because selling 75 tickets on a Wednesday, what am I going up against? Number 1, I'm going up against fucking TikTok. Number 2, I'm going up against every form of fucking entertainment in the world, asking you to pay $22 to hear me possibly talk about my dick, my dog, or my wife.
Right.
That's what it is at the end of the day. So that's why
Your
every
tombstone? That's your tombstone. Dick Dog
Yeah,
Wife.
yeah.
Dick
it's
Dog
good.
Wife?
It's a good
That's your
epitaph.
tombstone?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick's first, definitely.
Dick's first.
Yeah, Dick's
Huh?
first.
Just me.
I would honestly, it would probably be Dick, wife, dog.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh.
dogs die earlier.
Yeah,
That
but
would
dogs
make sense.
mean more to me.
It also kind of makes it seem like she died before the dog did, which I kind of like.
Yeah, Dick, dog, wife.
Dick,
Nah,
Dog- Yeah.
Dick, dog, wife. The world it rolls better.
Yeah, it does. Feel
Dick Dog Wife does roll up the tongue.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
also the
like
name
Ding
of
Dong
the-
Ditch, right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it,
It's
yeah.
also the name of this episode.
oh,
Dick
is it?
Dog Wife.
Dick, dog, wife. I like that.
Or a fucking wild
That's okay with
attorney.
your wife, obviously. I think.
Listen, she ain't happy with me being on here.
I got it.
Yeah, she was like, no. She goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who these guys are.
Fair.
She goes, I don't know
Fucking
what
crazy person.
I remember her leaning in, and she'd be like, "What is this podcast?" I'm like, "It's just some comedy guys." And she was one of them balding, and he wears a hat in his house. And I was like, "I don't know. I don't think so."
Yeah,
I think they were good
why does she have
guys.
to be so mean? I don't understand why your wife has to hurt the things that hurt me the most.
I don't know.
It's fucking mean.
I don't know.
She's
but Who's your guest next week? Candace Owens? All right, so
No, I tried to book her. She said no.
She said no?
Same reasons for you. The same reasons you're saying right now.
Yeah. No, I fucking. Where were we talking about? Oh, with
TikTok
the
web.
no, but with the social media and all this
Yes.
different stuff now. The big thing now is you don't need to be universally loved.
Right.
You used to have to be.
Find your audience.
Because a booker didn't know who you were, and they didn't want you to scare off people from ever going to that club. Now a booker goes, hey, listen, if you got 2 million followers, out of that, you can probably convince 100 people
Right, yeah.
to buy a ticket.
Right.
And if you can convince 100 people to buy a ticket, my staff can convince 80 of them to drink.
Right.
That's what this all. At the end
Yeah,
of the
you're right.
day, when you really boil stand-up comedy all the way down, it's drink sales. You will get booked everywhere if you can sell fucking drinks. The tickets, they'll
Bert
pay for it.
Kreischer.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer. No, 100%. When he said that, I was like, oh, fuck. And
Yeah.
it dawned on me. I had arguments with comics I used to really respect back in the day who would do a lot of really stupid shit on stage, which was funny. It was funny stuff. But I'm like, well, you made sure the bartender didn't make money tonight. You made sure the fucking the host working the host stand, not the guy holding the mic, not the other comics. I'm just looking at the people. This building needs to be turned on. So at least respect the people who are turning the lights on for you and unlocking the front door so that they can make money. And that's the part where I'm interested as I'm coming back to see. I feel like more people understand that post-pandemic than they did before I left, because there was a lot of fuckboys around.
In your class, yeah.
In my a lot of fuckboys doing fuckboy shit.
Yeah, no.
And a lot of it was just like, I'm being Andy Kaufman. I'm like, well, he died of cancer because he was a bad person.
Try to, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, sometimes you try to cure your cancer with that
I'm gonna
edamame.
just stare at him.
Sometimes.
Outdo that joke, bud.
Oh,
Can't.
yeah.
Andy
well, you-
Kaufman deserved cancer.
Can't. Opportunity has to arise.
I love that he's canceling himself, which is very. It's like, come on, our podcast, we're like, we're the issue. You just said Andy Kaufman deserved. I mean, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, but
listen,
I'm
go
for
back,
that-
listen,
I'm for that
honestly,
joke.
Go back. I don't have to. You go back to enough of Andy Kaufman's
Yeah,
bits.
it's bad.
All right?
Yeah,
go find a kid.
Not a good.
Go find a 20-year-old with a septum piercing. Show them Andy Kaufman material, and they'll say,
Yep.
this man should never be allowed near a microphone.
Yeah.
He fought women on camera.
I know.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the coolest part about him. I know.
See, now that's where Adam takes
That's
it too
the
far. I
problem.
said the man should die of cancer,
Yeah.
and I'm glad he did.
Not
And you're like,
far.
I like that he fought women.
Yeah, I
See,
said that's the
doesn't-
coolest part about him. What?
I know. I'm reiterating the bit. These
This
are
is
all jokes,
smooth.
people.
This is very smooth. Yeah, obviously.
It's gonna be edited.
Listen,
to
what
hell.
was the video?
No.
Oh yeah, show us the cum
Oh,
guy.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
what
gotta show
you
the
said.
cum guy. Then I gotta go to the doctor.
Yeah, no, you gotta go.
Here, hold on.
Get some injections in your neck.
Then I'm gonna go try to work out, but it's probably not a good
You
idea.
get Ozempic?
I don't know.
You
I-
putting
this
a
is-
Pliferol in there?
This is the one that I don't have to get like put out for. Just like a quick shot on my neck. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna try to work out. after that.
Spaduterol?
Yeah, we can make up whatever names. I mean, dude, I told you, my neck hurts so much. They could be like, we're gonna just inject horse cum in there. I'm like, dude, hit me up. Like whatever you gotta do to make that shit not
Every
be pain.
podcast I'm on, cum comes out, dude.
it's unfortunate.
I did
Are
a
you
game.
potent?
I did a tabletop RPG game,
It came up.
and it ended up being the premise of the game was to steal someone's cum by the time the game was over. It wasn't on purpose. The game was called Blood Pouch.
I don't know. Yeah, blood pouch.
All
Blood
right.
pouch. and
Gross.
stole the
Can you hear this?
Farabon,
Yes.
Jill Lawler, Maggie Gentner. They felt sexually violated by you.
Okay. Lie, lie, and lie. I don't need to do that.
Rape or sexually assault.
Such an assault. If I need women, I can make a line, the most beautiful, famous, rich women in the world. If I have to sleep with women, then I have to sleep, 5,000 girls every day. She commit-
5,000 women a day want to sleep with you?
Yeah. They commit suicide. 4 of them.
You're saying that 4 different women
4 different women.
each killed themselves because you wouldn't have sex
All
with them.
right. Why I have to harass women?
So he just
People
committed
pay
murder.
$1 million
In some way.
for
Negligence
one
at the
drop
very
of my
least.
Wait,
sperm.
you talked over the line.
I can
Oh,
make
the one
$1 million,
drop. We can
$1
play it
million.
again.
Here,
I
hold on.
wish you had
I have to
started with the
help
line
because
because,
you wouldn't-
now that I know what the context is, it's terrible.
It's real bad.
No,
The line it's okay. Play just the line.
Just the line.
I like when she goes, people are considering you for rape and sexual assault. He goes, oh, the pause. He goes, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Lie. Like that's the best comeback he just had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, lie.
Lie. It's
But
like,
it is kind of funny because he's doing the thing that like I would do if I got in serious trouble for anything. Just triple down on us, be like, you know what? Yeah, fucking whatever.
Adam, as your lawyer, I'm gonna just say right now, don't compare.
No, I would be.
yourself
Yeah,
with this
I go
man.
jail in 2 seconds.
I would not.
No.
I would never walk into a world.
No, I would go jail in 2 seconds.
I want to go ahead and cover yourself.
As a co-host, and now that we have representation, I would like to also affirm that.
Yeah, don't compare yourself to this man.
Hey,
even as a
My
joke.
Just
ego
floating it
and
out there,
hubris would
guys.
just take over, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Fucking, you know what? How
feel
dare
like-
you say that about me?
I feel like we should have pre-rolled the video to the 42-second moment because the amount of red flags that went off in those first
Lot
3
of it.
sentences. I was like, wow.
Well,
Greatly
we know he's not a good guy. I think that was agreed upon.
Yes, we all do know.
I didn't know. I didn't know who we were talking
wait a
about.
second.
I
Yeah,
was
you
talking
did.
about the guy from the 70s.
Oh, he
Right,
was
there
from the
an earlier
70s.
guy, but he was from the 70s. He was just young.
He's been around forever.
We saw
No,
the top.
the different guy. He has the long white beard.
Oh,
The
that
one they
one.
did, the one
Yeah.
that they made a Netflix documentary about.
Yes,
I was talking about a
They did
completely
this-
different.
Well,
dude.
buddy,
Gotcha.
guess what? Multiple old
This guy
creepy
was
rapists from the
worse.
70s.
No,
okay?
I know. It's just
Yeah,
listen. Between improv and yoga, it just happened.
All right, I'm going to play the line.
Yeah.
And have sex
All
with
right. Why I have to harass women? People pay $1 million for one drop of my sperm. I can make $1 million a day, every drop.
Why aren't you doing
You are that idiot or dumb to believe those trash.
the women of the trash?
Yeah. I pick them from trash and give them life.
That's my point. I'd go to jail in 2 seconds because that guy just tripled down. He's like, you know what?
What a
I actually think
sociopath.
I'm right.
Well, yeah,
they're
he's clearly
trash.
defensive because he did that shit. That's an obvious.
Yeah, no, he definitely.
He definitely did.
No, he for
that
sure
shit.
did. 100%.
See, on my show on Pearlmania 500, when we talk about grifters and bad people like this, we actually have a built-in soundboard button where it just plays the word allegedly, just for legal protection.
Oh yeah.
I think he's
So
in
we
jail,
hit I mean, he might be. No, don't get me wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general though, because then it's amazing what you can say and then hit
Hey, dude,
allegedly.
I'll put it this way, bud. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
You keep going. Keep going.
Because I'm just loving it because you're the one who's having people walk up to you and actually go, we think we get our news from you. That doesn't happen to us dum-dums.
No, exactly.
So I get it for you.
No, but it's also one of those things as well because we did an episode about BetterHelp.
Right.
You know BetterHelp?
I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah.
Never
It's
used
a
it,
bad
but
organization and it's a bad company.
This is what I was reading. I was looking at
Yeah,
some
no,
stuff.
it's bad stuff. But
Yeah.
basically, one of the things we do on our show is my wife and I will do research on topics, and we do something that a lot of people don't do, which is we click about 4 or 5 hyperlinks deep.
Right.
You just start. Sometimes you need to pull back
Yep.
and take a look at a bigger picture on something. And so some things, which she's been doing a lot of, have been specific Instagram grifters.
Right.
I've been doing more of the corporate side of things. We've ended up with a lot more stuff about cults. But like in this Bikram Yoga thing, I've actually recently been reading a lot more about like the growth of yoga in the West, in both Europe and in America. And it's crazy, like the way it grew and how it's changed over time and how dudes like this end up getting that much power.
Yeah.
Because again, they fill a vacuum because a lot of people will run to yoga because they had a bad experience in the church.
True.
And with
Okay.
with Western religions,
Gotcha.
and they think, well, Eastern religions won't do that. And it's
Right.
like, well, no, it's the same guys.
Yeah.
It's just a different flavor.
Yeah.
It's just it's just a different font, guys.
Yeah.
It's still at the end of the day.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is still going to end in assault and a man yelling, "My cum is $1 million."
Yeah, like Shinrikyo always blew my mind because you didn't see cults like that. I mean, Japanese culture, obviously very passionate, very, very intense culture like that. And I know we got to get you out of here, Adam. But like, Shinrikyo was like, I was like, that's an American cult. Like, he literally took comic book wizardry, smashed it with a religion of the day, and was just like, oh, I own all of this. I'll make you eat that person's poo because I feel like it. I was like, dude, that's American Cult 101. It happened.
Yeah.
And then the whole
There's a lot
sarin
of poop
attacks.
stuff with cults.
Lot
too.
of poop stuff.
Lot of poop
Lot of
stuff.
poops. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been
Not
doing
cool
a lot
with
about
poop
Poop
stuff.
stuff, a lot of poon stuff.
Seventh-day
stuff, yeah.
Adventists, super into colonics.
Yep.
They really like the enemas. Adam, maybe that's what you need for your neck.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
get a deep enema.
But you got a hose over there, bro.
All right,
Just
yeah, I'll
pop
try
that
it.
bad boy in before you
No,
leave.
that's not
No,
good.
Not
No,
the way it works.
That's not how an enema
Allegedly. Do I say it now?
Allegedly?
There you go.
I say it now.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Allegedly.
And now you're covered for medical
Boom.
malpractice.
Perfect.
Well, I'm gonna go try it right now before I
Allegedly,
do my
take a
shots in my
garden
neck.
hose. Allegedly, you should take a garden hose, shove it up your own ass, and keep pulling it till it comes out of your mouth.
Oh, like a
Cartoon
clown.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can do that. Done.
So this has been the show.
This has been the show.
This has been
This
the
has
show.
been a
Yeah.
very fun show.
Adam, it was very nice to meet you, even from a distance. I'm glad I drove all the way to Philadelphia for
I don't
you
even have to
meet
do
us
the
via
ending.
Zoom.
He's doing it. Please do the whole ending.
All right. If you enjoyed this show, you can check out more here on the droptent.com Comedy Media Network. You can see such shows like the Weekday Comics with Dan Diapril and Dave Primiano.
Perfect.
Find out more on all of their socials. If you want to find out more information for any of the people, look at the bottom here where you see Adam and Neil's names at the very bottom of the video. If you're listening to this on audio, look to the show notes. The show notes are an important area where they have links to all different people, like myself.
much. It's too much
Pearlmania
now.
500. And with that being said, Neil, is there anything you'd like to say to close this out?
Oh, I'd love to. Thanks, Alex. Sorry, I just kick it over to you. Thanks. I'm going to go back. Cult of Us, Adam Nutter, thank you very much. Alex Pearlman, thanks again. And I've been Neil Wood. Another day in the cult. Bye.
And before we
Bye.
go, Adam,
Yeah?
any last words from you?
God damn it, I
no,
thought I had it.
I'm good. Thanks. I love everybody.
It's a lot of fun.
Bye.
By the renewing of your mind.
The recycling. It's a flesh body world.
Do it.
Human.
Do it.
Sir slimy reptilian.
This has been a Drop Tent Media Production.